The secret to staying consistent with any routine is not willpower, motivation, or discipline. And before you go there, it's also not shaming, guilt tripping, or punishing yourself. If we haven't met yet, I'm Isabel. I'm a brand designer, strategist, dog lover, and weird human. And on this channel, we talk all about embracing your weird in order to build a better business, brand, and life. I'm sure there's thousands of articles out there and videos out there talking about how to stay consistent with routines, but most of them are not made with the neurodivergent mind in mind. That sounded redundant. It's fine. We'll go with it. So, how do people who actually crave consistency and variety at the same time build a routine and actually keep up with it? Let me show you 3 different ways. Way number 1, have multi-level routines. I've talked about this before in my video on how to task batch, but when you are a human who doesn't wake up with consistent energy levels every day, aka when sometimes you wake up feeling superhuman and sometimes you wake up feeling like a zombie, your routines have to account for that. All of my routines are based on 3 levels. Level number 1 is zombie level. What are my non-negotiables? What do I have to do? Like, no matter what, whether it's because it's something I'm responsible for or because it's something that is actually very important for my physical or my mental health. So these can be things like walking my dogs. I have to walk my dogs every morning because I live in a small apartment and they need to go out to go to the bathroom. That is a non-negotiable. So that's on my zombie list. If you take meds, taking your meds, that is very important. That is a non-negotiable, okay? So those are the kinds of things that are on this zombie level. Then we move to the opposite side of the spectrum. This is the place where the neurodivergent mind loves to live in their mind, right? This is the what would my ideal routine look like place if I could do it every single day and there was never any dependence on my energy levels. I would just do it anyways. So this is the place where you include your crazy routine things like, oh, I would like to meditate for an hour every morning. And like to those who actually do that, amazing. I would love to do that. I haven't been able to figure out a way to do that yet, but it's okay. Um, it's the place where you put these like big things, but they aren't necessarily like, would they make my morning better? Yes, they definitely would in the example of this morning routine, but they're not non-negotiable. They don't have to happen. So if I wake up exhausted, I'm not going to journal or do morning pages or exercise because I don't have the energy to do so, and that's okay. And once you've figured out your zombie level and your superhuman level, then you can rein it in and find a middle ground. And this is like your regular human. Try to find out what's the level of energy you wake up with on most days and what feels doable on most days. So this is where you might include things like if you like showering in the mornings. On a zombie level, you might not have the energy to shower in the morning, but on a normal human level, you would put, yes, shower in the morning. And then in a superhuman level, it would be exercise, then shower, and then meditate. I hope that makes sense. If you are enjoying this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is a new channel, but I am making videos every single Friday, and I'm having so much fun doing it. So it would mean a lot to me if you are enjoying this, if you would subscribe. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is to include variety. One of the issues with routines, when you are the kind of human that craves routine, but then gets bored with routine and craves variety, is keeping it consistent, right? We can keep up with our routines if we include variety from the get-go. So for example, instead of saying, in my hypothetical morning routine again, I'm going to do yoga every single morning at 5 a.m., let's say, right? Instead of doing that, we can say, I'm going to move my body every single morning at 5 a.m., okay? Now, what's the difference between saying yoga specifically or moving your body? But when you get bored with yoga, you can still find other ways to move your body, and so you can still be consistent with it. Some days it might be going out for a walk. Some days it might be rollerblading. Some days it might be doing a cardio workout or a dance workout, or maybe just turning on some music and dancing while you sweep and clean. How you move your body and what's going to feel interesting to you on that day is up to you. But if you already have this kind of premeditated and you do the thought process beforehand, then the day that you wake up and you're like, I really don't feel like yoga today, but I do want to move my body, you'll have a list of other ways to move your body. And whichever one is calling out to you that day, you can be like, yep, this one, I'm going rollerblading. Put on your skates, get out of the house, and go rollerblade, right? And so you're still keeping up with your routine because you're still moving your body, even if it's not in this very specific, closed off way. By adding variety to our routines and thinking of this beforehand and thinking of how we phrase these things, it means we can stay consistent in different ways and fulfill both sides of the brain, the craving the variety and the craving the routine and consistency. And number 3 is to change it up. Eventually, you might get bored of your routine anyways. I'm sorry. It is what it is, but that's okay. We are humans and humans change. Our priorities change, our schedules change, the things we like to do change. And so when you feel a true resistance to any routine that you've set for yourself, go back to step 1 and recalibrate it. Create a new routine for yourself and keep going because progress is better than perfect. And the more you resist changing up your routine because, well, I used to be able to do it before, why can't I just keep doing it? The more you're just punishing yourself for no reason. You're expecting yourself to be the same human that you were 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, or 6 months ago when you first set this routine. And you're not. You've changed, you've grown, and that's okay. Would you like to see what one of, like, my multi-level routines looks like? Let me know in the comments if this would be interesting to you so I can make a video about it, showing you what a multi-level routine that includes variety can look like. Yours doesn't have to look like mine. It's just to give you an example because I know sometimes our brains just kind of need to see it in order for it to click. See you next Friday. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you soon.